Hey everyone, happy Mozambique Monday. Mozambique Monday is a time for you to learn about culture, and it's a time for you to focus on Mozambique and pray for Mozambique. So without further ado, let's get into our question for today. Our question today comes from my friend Megan's little girl, Bree. And by the way, I love that kids are asking questions. So if your kids have a question about Mozambique, don't be afraid to ask. So Bree asks, what do kids do for fun in Mozambique? So a lot of kids in Mozambique play soccer for fun. A lot of kids through Africa play soccer for fun. But it's not like fancy soccer like we have in the United States. First of all, they call it football. It's football. And they will take like whatever they have, like plastic bags, and they'll roll them up real tight. They'll squish them up and keep kind of making a plastic bag ball. And then they will tie it. They'll put string around it. Usually it's very fine string that's been made from like repurposed tires. So it's rubber string that they can get in the market. It's super cheap. So it's something that they can make with their own hands. Plastic bags that are lying around the house. And then this rubber string that doesn't cost like hardly anything. So they wrap it all together and form a really tight ball. And then they will just play in the street, or if they're lucky enough to be close enough to like a soccer field, like maybe a school might have a field, or the town might have, or the village might have a special place for playing soccer, they would take the ball there. But a lot of times you'll just see impromptu games of kids just playing soccer in the street. And when I say street, I'm not talking about paved roads. The paved roads that we do have a lot of traffic on them, and they're very well used. But a lot of our streets in our neighborhoods, including ours, is just sand. So they're playing soccer in the sand in this middle of the street. And what's very common is they will take two bamboo sticks and just place it down for goals. So that's the goal. And they're just kind of like have the one goal, and they're just shooting the soccer ball back and forth and trying to score the goal. And that's kind of like just a fun impromptu soccer game that a lot of kids throughout the entire country of Mozambique will play in their neighborhoods. Another game that kids play in Mozambique, don't really have a name for it. It's kind of like dodgeball on steroids because it's a little crazy. We've seen them play this in our neighborhood. There'll be like a group of kids. They'll have two teams, and they will have like two plastic bottles that are plastic, like empty soda pop bottles, like a Coke bottle kind of thing. And so each team has their own bottle. And the goal of the teams is whoever can fill their bottle with sand first wins, because obviously there's sand everywhere in the street. It's very sandy where we live. So the kids have designated people trying to fill those water bottles or whatever Coke bottles with sand before the other team finishes. However, there is a twist to this. While they're filling the bottles with sand, the kids are throwing rocks at each other. So that's where the dodgeball and steroids comes into play here. We don't have like nice soft little balls to throw at each other. And yeah, it's pretty harsh, but this is a game that they have come up with and invented, and they play it. So I would not recommend throwing rocks at your friends. I'm not advocating that, but this is a game that they play in Mozambique. So the kids will be throwing rocks at each other while trying to protect their teammates who are filling the bottles with sand. And whoever fills the sand first wins the game, and then the rocks stop flying. So those are just two games that are very popular where we live in Mozambique. Thank you for the question, Bree. It was a great question. And please don't forget, if you have a question or your kids have a question, please put it in the comments or whatever, so that we can answer your questions about Mozambique. So that's all for today's Mozambique Monday. Please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any Mozambique Mondays or updates. Speaking of updates, I just want to remind you guys that we have this Miles for Mozambique. Joel will be participating in the Space Coast Marathon. He is running each mile with a specific village or location from our province in Mozambique, Cabo Delgado, the northernmost province of Mozambique. He will be running this marathon with these 26 locations in mind. If you do not have a Miles for Mozambique booklet and you would like one, please, please, please give us your email address, and then we can, from there, we can get your address, your mailing address, and we can send one to you, okay? We have this in PDF format, which is great. We can email it to you, but really, like, this is gorgeous. I'm just gonna say. It's a beautiful booklet. Each mile is gonna be focused to a specific place in Mozambique. We have a really nice map of our province here with the 26 locations. And it's just kind of easy when you have something in your hand and you're like, mile 1 is Alto Gingoni. So we're gonna pray for mile 1, Alto Gingoni. Mile 2 is the island of Ibu. So I'm gonna pray for Ibu. So it kind of just gives like a little story that goes with each location that really helps to connect you, helps make it real. These stories are real stories, and so some of the names have been changed just to protect the people that are in these stories. But really, this is all about raising awareness for Mozambique, for the northern province, and really raising prayer support for Mozambique and where we work in Mozambique. So please, 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 if you don't have one of these, let us know. We would love to get them to you. Okay, that's all for today. We love you and we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.